Alright, welcome back to Roguetech, and welcome back to your first playthrough. This is going to be my second time recording this. Yeah, there was mild technical difficulties. Lucky for those of you following your first playthrough exclusively, it basically was mostly just the challenge run. I recorded it first, and so I'm just going to be doing this again. This first episode should be really quick now that I know what I'm doing. First thing I'm doing, going into Chameleon and immediately just repairing everything. It already has engine core, it already has a double heatsink kit, wonderful, 19 days, and then we'll start messing with that. The line holder. This was one that I kind of fumbled around a bit with, but I ended up dropping the lasers, putting the compact actuators on the left arm, so that it saves us a little bit of tonnage there. The fire control missile range goes in here, so that we lose the half of the minimum range and extend the maximum range of our missiles, because we're also going to be putting on, after I drop in the gyro, Pharaoh, comm sweep, because tactics is really good for indirect fire. Decided not to put a Clan XL in because it would have only saved us 4.25 tons. The sensors, we went with sensor recon because this thing does not go fast, so the only things defending it is gyro defense, ECM, and range. And yeah, the idea is to not hopefully get close enough for anyone to reliably hit us. We're going to toss in some Case 2 quick cell because we're going to have a lot of ammo in the left torso, or right torso. Dropping in the C3 slaves so that we have, as long as we're dropping it with our command vehicle, the C3 master will give it bonus sight and sensor distance and bonus sensor check, so we'll have better sensors from that. We already have a probe built into the sensor recon, and I feel like there was something else. We don't have Artemis ammo to use the Artemis attachment. I could have sworn there was something else. I'll figure it out. Then we go on down to the Thunderbolt 10. Thunderbolt 15 takes 3 more tons for the weapon, and then each bin of ammo is only 4 shots instead of 6 shots. And we're going to go with 2 bins of high explosive and 1 bin of regular. So this will give us 12 shots of splash and 6 shots of pinpoint. So if we have a really, really good hit chance and we want to just do 60 damage or 55 damage pinpoint, we can use the regular ammo. Otherwise, we can just do the high explosive, get bonus accuracy, do AoE splash damage, and yeah. Damage of a direct hit is reduced by 60%, but it does up to 33 AoE damage and a ton of area of effect stability damage. Ah, that's the other thing. I knew there was something else I was forgetting here. Endosteel. Boom. Okay. And now... Is there anything else? I think from here... Did I go with the Angel ECM? I forget whether I shaved back armor off and gave it the Angel ECM or added back armor, even though we shouldn't ever have anyone behind us unless we seriously messed up. Yeah, no, I think it was just... Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just armor. It was armor adjustment and maybe the Angel ECM instead of the Guardian ECM, but I'm fine with just running the Guardian ECM. That's all the cockpit components. That's all the ammo we need. That's 16 shots, 16 alpha strikes with the LRM and 18 with the Thunderbolt 10. So we have the staying power for literally any mission that could come our way. As well as a little bit of versatility in, do we want to just do swarm and high explosive and just do a bunch of AoE damage, or do we actually want to like damage directly? So that's cool. Yeah, I think regardless of what it was that I did, I think this time I will armor up the back. The side that has stuff in it, of course. Actually, I think I might... Maybe that's what I did. Maybe I stripped Because I remember the armor, I had the back armor on the left torso low. Because there's nothing in it, it's just a shield side. Literally the entire thing is just a shield side. If we lose the compact actuator, we just shave off, what is it, 0.27 tons of armor. That's it. So, yeah. We have a nice fire support mech that we can sit in the back and lob things at people at extreme range. Stormcrow. Stormcrow. All we did, drop the SRM Slug, add the SRM Inferno half bin, so now we can either use it to do extra damage to vehicles, or we can use it to help Calcifer heat people up, or even just on our own. We have 18 SRMs. And then we also have an SRM 6 Valiant to put in place of the SRM 6, which gives us 1 less damage per missile, but it also gives us more crit. A lot more crit. So our filthy little backstabber is even more of a filthy little backstabber. And I debated between dropping the patchwork and armoring up, and I decided, or like armoring up completely with the half ton, or dropping the patchwork and then armoring up some. And I decided to drop the patchwork and something like that. There we go. So 60 in the back on the side that has all the stuff in it, 66 in the back of the center, and 50 in the back of the side that doesn't have as much stuff. Cool. So there's that. And yes, I know patchwork is expensive to put in. It's fine. We'll find a use for it elsewhere. Calcifer, I don't think I did anything to. I think Calcifer just stayed exactly the way it is. Yeah. 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 Okay. Just had to check. Urban Knight, we left alone. Incubus, Cloak, I love Cloak. We're not touching Cloak for a long time. Poker, I definitely want to do something, in part because it just runs out of AMS ammo so fast. I did mess around with considering putting the, the handheld rack 2 in here, but I wasn't happy with it, because the handheld rack 2 is 15 times 6, so 30 times 3, but you can't use the handheld weapons when you put it on a hand. So if I put it on the right hand, the right arm, I couldn't use any of this. If I put it on the left, I couldn't use the ballistics or this light PVC. So what I ended up doing was AC5 Mydron, light AC5, and then AC5 ammo. And then we don't need as much ammo for just running the AMS Mark II. So I think we will drop the high explosive and regular, and now we just have the caseless. Is that better though? So 56 damage, 35, 91 in exchange for 90. Except these can jam, so no, we'll do that on a different mech. We'll do that on a different mech. Yeah, I mean, the Phoenix Hawk's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I wish it had a little bit more something. Just a little something more. But yeah, short of using the ballistic hardpoints, I don't see it. We don't have AC2 ammo to use the AC2 Mydron. The Rack 5 we don't have ammo for. We have ammo for ultras, but we don't have ultras. The heavy rifle plus ammo, that's at least 10 tons because of the, ammo it would need. And that's 3 light PPCs plus. No, I think we're just gonna leave it intercepting missiles like crazy. If it runs out of ammo, that means it intercepted a ton of missiles. So I'm kind of fine with it. It's whatever. Bushwhacker, I don't think I touched at all. I don't think I touched the Bushwhacker at all. Oh, right, since I decided to not put an XL in anything, I was able to go to Hellion and retrain Hellion. Yep. So she can now be a completely shooty person. Definitely still giving her cautious, because cautious is just very strong. Especially since she's going to be, you know, moving anytime she shoots and then moves, but if she needs to reposition, she's going to be needing to sprint to get to whatever position. Bump her up to 6 tactics so that she gets good sensors, and with the current build, and probably any future build, we're going to be using focus fire. Especially if I can manage to get a rotary autocannon online for the Phoenix Hawk. If I can get Rack 5 ammo, oh man, that's going to happen so fast. Now, as far as piloting and guts, I don't think the Phoenix Hawk has anything that uses piloting, so we're going to give her injury resist and bonus resolve generation. Her being able to vigilance will be very helpful because we can potentially move, shoot, and then have high initiative from vigilance, shoot, and then move, or something like that. Also, you know, focus fire, so called shots are more fun. Also, I think the interface cockpit gives a bonus to called shots. Anyway, so that's what we did with her. Jelly Roll is... he's the punchy guy, right? Wait, what? Plus 20 affinity with all light mechs. Wait, what? I thought he was... Did they change him? Wait. It wasn't Narf. Narf wasn't the... Yeah, no, he was the dropback. Oh, it was him, wasn't it? Ranos. Yeah, Compound Chick. Okay. So this is who we're going to be dropping in the stealth, because we're making the stealth into a punchy monster. Which unfortunately means we need to get him to Guts 5. Yeah, Guts 5. But it's fine. So, in the mech bay, stealth is still being worked on for 11 days. I'm going to stop work. I'm just going to go by memory. Go by memory of what we did. So, first thing, snub those PPC out. We ended up keeping the Esrim Valiant, but we replaced the snub with the LBX. Oh, right, actually, right. So, I do need to grab off of Poker, because Poker's not super great against VTOLs, so drop that. I would really love to have just like a handheld weapon that wasn't, you know, 10 plus tons. It's just, it's not, if Poker did not have the cockpit interface, I would totally put the handheld Rack 2 and the autocannons and try all that craziness. But right now, the way it is, I think we're going to hold off until we can get like the Rack 5, or at least until we can get more jam chance reduction on. Oh, right. Because we have the Battletech ballistic. It's fine. It's fine. Wait. Work in progress. What work? What are you talking about? Hold on. What? Oh, because I moved the yeah. Because I moved the bolt-on to the other side. Yeah, I still think that's the play there. But yeah, we do have the battle computer ballistic. So the AC5 Mydron and light AC5 are really good as far as accuracy is concerned. Like, yes, they can jam, but they're already evasion ignore. I believe both of them have one evasion ignore plus 1 accuracy. This would be another plus 1 accuracy. So now I'm like rethinking my build. It's like, yeah, it's a 10% jam chance. It's 8 tons though. Yeah, 8 tons is a bit of an ask. So like AC5 Mydron, and then light AC5 is only 5 tons. That's 13 tons. So we would definitely drop the advanced AMS. We would definitely drop this light PPC. We wouldn't need all the ammo for just the AMS Mark II, so we'd probably drop like that. Yeah, it doesn't work without dropping a whole bunch of the light PPCs. Like all of them, basically. That's unfortunate. I would really like for that to work, but unfortunately it does not. I mean, I guess I will still put the bolt-on rockets, sure. 2 days, 500 C-bills, sure. Back to the stealth, though. Because again, we're dropping the snub, and we're putting on the bolt-on LAA missiles because the LBX Quicksell PPC gets a +3 to accuracy against VTOLs, which is nice. So we have the anti-VTOL missiles, we have the anti-VTOL PPC. Should be fun. Obviously we need to max the armor. And we're dropping the cockpit hot seat, in part because heat. This LBX PPC is 50 heat. But it's okay, because we have a hybrid TSM Quicksell. Boom. So that will give us the carry capacity for the combat shield and the blue armor system and the LAA missiles. It'll also give us 1.25 times melee damage and 30 walk distance when activated without having to generate any heat for it. So, our heat efficiency becomes -7, except when we kick the blue shield on, at which point it becomes a heat delta of 5, which is very manageable. Very, very manageable. Although we do need ammo, and we don't have another half bin of SRM ammo, which is what we had in here. We had just a half bin of the Inferno, but we currently only have the... Actually, hybrid TSM goes to the legs and arms on failure, right? Legs and arms, yeah. So we do not want ammo in the leg. Or in the arms. But we also don't want ammo in the side torso. You know what? I think it's better in the leg. If it happens to get crit and blow up, even if we lose a leg, we have the combat shield, we have the blue shield armor system. We can just hopefully tank plenty to, you know, be fine. So we have ammo for our SRM, we have the LBX. We're going to replace the Fire Control Bloodsport with a Fire Control Flak for the extra crit chance and the Evasion Ignore. I'm fairly certain the Evasion Ignore will still apply to melee hits, so arguably it's the same melee bonus as the Bloodsport. You just don't get the +1 initiative unless they don't have any evasion, in which case the Bloodsport gives you 1 accuracy. And Evasion Ignore obviously can't ignore evasion that isn't there. Cockpit. Cockpit gunnery or cockpit voice. I think we're going to go cockpit voice for the bonus 2 initiative. Right, the ammo. That's why we suddenly got too heavy. But we saved the patchwork materials, so we can do that. And that saves us 0.2. And then we can drop the searchlight, and that's 0.5. And then just bump down. I mean, honestly, is back armor the play? Because back armor doesn't benefit from bulwark, and it doesn't benefit from the combat shield. You know what? I'm fine. 63 on the back is fine. I'm pretty sure that's more than what it had, so that's good. But yeah, the piloting will help with punching, the piloting will help with the blue shield armor system, and the TSM not critting. Should be fine. Should be completely fine. We also could keep the searchlight and downgrade the Angel ECM into a Guardian ECM, but I prefer the Angel ECM, especially on somebody up front. Just jamming enemies by 5 and reducing jamming within 240 meters is insane. And then, obviously, at range, the 5 ECM shield plus the 1 from Recon is just amazing. So we should be all set to have a much scarier Tonka. Even though the raw damage, the snub did 60 at close range, and the LBX does 60 in 6 different damage instances, or 6 different damage instances. But it doesn't have damage fall off. That's like the biggest thing. Is so if we're walking towards the front and we're not quite there yet, we're still doing full damage with our PPC at 600 meters. And then once we get within 360, we can start shooting the SRM and have good times. I would love to have a half bin of SRM ammo so I could put the searchlight back on or something. But literally the options were SRM 6 Valiant with the extra crit chance or MRM. Actually, so the reason I didn't go with the MRM specifically was because it's the same tonnage, and in exchange for longer range, you get less damage per missile and less crit chance because of the Valiant. But we have safe ammo for MRM-10, in which case we don't really have to worry at all about ammo explosion, which right now is the biggest threat to this thing, honestly. So while we'll have less crit chance, we can always put the SRM on something else. Yeah, this is 9 times 6, which is 54 if my mental math tracks, whereas this is just 50. But it's also 10 damage instances that can potentially crit with the fire control flex plus 20% crit chance. And also the -1 recoil is great for the PPC. So if we have somebody who has any minus recoil on top of the -1 from the flak fire control, we can get the PPC's recoil down to a manageable level. The question is, do I risk the ammo explosion to do 4 more damage and have a much higher crit chance? And I honestly think that no, this mech is not about destroying things. This mech is about taking a beating. And with MRM safe ammo, we don't have to have it in the leg. So if a crit goes to the leg from the hybrid TSM, okay, doesn't matter. And it has 95% reduced explosive potential, and even if it does, it's only 0.1 damage per remaining shot. Which means even if we haven't fired a single MRM out of it, it can do at most 18 damage. So safe ammo is actually super good now. Like, honestly, it's debatably the best ammo in the game. If it's for a single, like if you have an otherwise no ammo build except for one weapon that needs 1 bin of ammo, you put a safe bin in, you're golden. And it's 18 alpha strikes, so I'm set as far as ammo and as far as all of that goes. So we're gonna validate that 23 days and he'll be ready. And then we have the Incubus that we can also look at building since we didn't put an XL into anything else. So we can finally look at trying to get daggers started. That is 17 days, 328,000 C-bills. But I'm willing to sink it in for now. We can always cancel it later. Obviously, that's going to be the lowest priority. And the LAM, we still need LAM parts before we can actually make it work. So, Chameleon is slightly above Dagger, but also, you know, not. Tonka, absolutely highest priority. So, we will arrive in 21 days. Tonka will be ready in 23. We have the line holder. 13 is the Stormcrow. 15 is Poker. And then we have 19 days on Chameleon. So by the time we arrive, we will actually have worked on the Chameleon for 6 days? 11, 13, 15, we arrive in 21. So yeah, we'll be 13 days away from having our Chameleon ready to work on. And yeah, there we go. So this time I did it in 25 minutes instead of over an hour. Not bad. There is an argument to be made for going Spartan here, since we will be arriving with only half the financial report left. There's also an argument to be made for going Extravagant, which actually puts us up to the point where we'll be getting 3 resolve gain per round of battle. But we're not going to the highest rated planet. We're going to a planet that's like right spot on for our current lance strength. So I don't feel like I need the extra, because it goes from 1 base resolve per round to 3. Which could very easily result in being able to use Vigilance multiple times, and maybe not taking as much damage. But it's also 500,000 C-bills, so I'll just stick with normal. And off we go. So, as we get there, as soon as we get there, then we can look at the situation and see if the conflict with Republic of the Sphere and the Capellans is actually still a thing. Because it was last time I went there. Alright, so yeah, we've got... Oh! Wait, what? Oh, were we Spartan? We must have been Spartan, because our repair time got faster. So yeah, we must have been Spartan, and then when I went back to normal, all of a sudden, we got stuff done faster. So we actually have 4 days left for the Chameleon to be ready to build. That's cool. I like it. I did not notice that last time. I was also doing other stuff too, but decided not to do some of it. Yeah, Liao will attack soon, and we're gonna beat up on the Capellans. In part because the difficulty variation means that on this 2.5 skull planet, the conflict battles are going to be anything from 1.5 to 3.5, and yeah, Republic of the Sphere is clan tech, so I don't know if I can handle 3.5 skull clan tech missions, but I can definitely handle 3.5 skull Capellan missions, so we're going to do that. Man, now I have to make the hard decision. Last time I easily stopped the episode here because it was over an hour. This time though, 28 minutes. What are the odds I get a mission in as well? I haven't been working on the Argo. Oops. Whoops. I must have clicked through that because I was trying to hurry up and get back where I was. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I mean, we definitely don't have the money for the Junkyard Leopard. That's clear. And I don't really care about, like, tech points right now, really. Like, yes, we have a couple things that we're building, and we have things that are going to need to be repaired after the battle, but, like, unlocking other stuff. Like, we need structural... Oh, okay. The power supply isn't actually... Structural reinforcements what we actually need to get Gamma Pod. But do I actually care about Gamma Pod right now? Gamma Pod... Gymnasium... Yeah, no, I think I'm just going to get morale upgrades, honestly. Because if I can get 4 morale, that means normal will still get the +3, unless something happens. So this is 200,000 for 2 morale. Cool. And then after that, we'll get the upgraded lounge, which is another 2. And that puts us at 30. So yeah, that's the play there. I really wish I would have been working on that while I traveled, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, you know, I guess I'll go through, skill everyone up, and then record a battle for tomorrow. Oh yeah, Braver has a lot of... but he's not that good at punching. Does Oranos actually have any... No, he does not have any recoil reduction. But recoil doesn't matter if they're guaranteed to be destabilized if he hits. Then it doesn't really matter. Plus, it still has the -1 recoil, which makes the flak on here even better than what I thought. Yeah, no, I think that's fine. Yeah, the affinities he's gonna get are whatever. Like the local ECM is nice, and the sensor and probe is nice, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, honestly, there's an argument to be made for putting somebody else in it and letting him go and punch as part of something else. But specifically, I'd be looking for recoil reduction, like military. Let's see. Do we have anyone who's like... Obviously that's cool, but do I have anyone who is... Okay, vehicle, Sarge's on cloak, Rusalka's vehicle, Scion's in the bushwhacker. So we have Orcus, -1 recoil, but doesn't really do anything with the melee stuff. Narf, no recoil reduction. McWraith, no recoil reduction. I already looked. Yeah, I already looked. No recoil reduction there either. Man, do I just keep cycling people out of the stealth? Here we have recoil reduction, but again, no melee stuff. And then she's got to be in the thing. He has no melee stuff, but he would negate the rest of the recoil, meaning that the stealth would have 0 recoil. But do I care? Because, like, the stealth, again, isn't really about doing the damages. It's mostly about just soaking damage. And Lance Resolve Generation is very nice. Improved panic resist, too. Maybe I do put Oranos on it. Straight 4s, and does not have enough for... Well, he only needs 700 experience to be able to get Juggernaut. At which point... So yeah, I think I honestly, like, put Jelly Roll in. I put Jelly Roll in until Oranos gets enough experience elsewhere. And honestly, tactics is super important too. Okay. Yeah, we got a bunch of Project Mechwarriors. Hellion's looking good. Horic. Horic is definitely going to go for Sensor Lock, I think. Actually, no, Horic's usually in, like, the least impactful vehicle. Maybe I go for Field Command with him. Maybe. Don't know. Like, Wraith is ready to put levels in, but I don't even know what I'm going to be dropping him in. Braver we actually drop in the Stormcrow, right? Because the Stormcrow has machine guns? Yeah. So we're going to give him piloting so that he can run the supercharger longer. Okay. Cool. Narf. Happy to have the dude. I mean, he's Reckless Lucky, so... -1 recoil or bonus crit chance. I think just based on how many of our mechs are splashy and how few of them care about recoil, probably gonna go Bandit. Probably. Because he's Reckless Lucky. That's a great combination for spammy weapons that have, you know, that way they have higher clustering, reduced jam chance if that's a thing, and then evasion ignore. Sure. And sure. Something like that. Orcus, I don't know who he's going in yet, or what he's going in yet. Oh, our commander can actually get more gunnery. Yeah, that's... First of all, that's less jam chance for the AMS in the Bushwhacker. Second of all, it's more unjam chance, which is the more important thing there. So that allows us to also get closer to the skill 8 ability, but more importantly, 70% unjam unmodified. And if we go look at our Bushwhacker real quick, yeah. So we're just gonna skill up, and I'm gonna talk about that. So we have Gunnery A and Gunnery B. We also have a rangefinder, which means we now have a 100% unjam chance. And I just realized all we have is a regular AMS. Nothing else jams, huh? Well then. Mistakes were made. It's fine though. I mean, it's fine. It's completely fine. I mean, gunnery's never bad. Then again, actually, is there anything... There's nothing with a fail chance. So we didn't really need piloting. We got solid sensors. We got a watchdog suite, so like... It's fine that our tactics is just at 6. So I think Guts is actually the thing that we then level up more. So yeah, again, piloting don't really need it unless we start like getting knocked down and stuff. Or give her jump jets. Rusalka. I mean, additional movement. Additional movement's nice. Just make Rusalka go fast. Tank VTOL movement does not apply to stealth. But I really would like to get Phantom. Because that literally will make us disappear. And then... a little bit of gunnery, sure. Because Cloak is going to... Cloak is going to be impossible to detect. Right, no, it's the Stormcrow that has the passive sensors and the... Yeah, okay. Well, Cloak is still going to be really hard to detect once we get her upgraded a little bit more. God, I love this build so much. I really do. Okay. Oh, Urban Knight. Urban Knight is actually a really good pick for Jelly Roll. So, once we finally have Uranus with... That's what we'll do. We will use Jelly Roll in the stealth until Uranus gets the Juggernaut ability. Then we can put Jelly Roll in the Urban Knight, because again, Jelly Roll, the main reason we're dropping him is for the taco time, the 20% Lance Resolve generation. His special thing is really strong. So, that's what we're dropping him for, not so much for him to build affinity on anything. And I don't see the Urban Knight surviving super long unless we get some ways to improve it somehow. Yeah. So, Sarge, good. Tainted Loki. Some more vehicle movement. Then again, he does have the machine gun that can jam. But I also would really like to get him sensor lock. He does drop in like every mission. So. And then here, need to look at the vehicle real quick, because we're dropping him in the Schiltron. The Schiltron has an MRM-10, which is whatever. The big weapon is the Long Tom, which has recoil of 4. Recoil of 4. So we definitely need to get him. Mr. Zombie, we need to get focus fire. And then extra vehicle movement's good. And tactics would be great for indirect fire, but since we're only indirect firing a artillery piece instead of, like, you know, something that actually has to hit, all it would do is narrow the area that we might hit. It doesn't actually, like, help nearly as much as if you're LRM or you know, Thunderbolt or whatever indirect firing. Artillery indirect fire is much more about the deviation rather than the accuracy. So, I think that's everyone. I think that's everything. And that has been your episode of Roguetech for the day. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good one.